Hello and good evening, everyone. How are you doing? Hi, I see a lot of you saying good evening and hello. And yes, welcome to your mission midterm session. And today we're going to have a lot of questions from your literature chapters and grammar, just to see where you're at so that you are prepared to ace your midterms. So for all those of you that I'm meeting for the first time, hello, my name is Asmita and I'm going to help you ace your midterms. So hello Barsha, hi Sonali, hi Palak, hi Sahil, and I'm very excited to start this journey with all of you. And I'm sure together we're going to have a lot of fun. All right. Hi Bishal. Okay, so I want you all to head over to www.menti.com, use the code 65087449. All right, we have a lot of questions coming up, so let's not spend a lot of time just chit-chatting, although I'd love to do that. And let's get right to it and we'll chit-chat throughout the Menti. And hello all those of you who are meeting me for the first time. Very nice to meet you and hope to see you in all the upcoming sessions. Right. So let me know as and when you're able to join. www.menti.com 65087449. Good evening, everyone. So it'll be fun to see how you do in today's Menti, but even if you don't do that well, why this is necessary is because it'll give you an idea of what you need to work on. So you might already be very good at certain things. Maybe grammar you're very, very good at. You might have to revisit the literature chapters. Maybe you understand the stories very well, but poems not so much. So this will tell you what you need to work harder on, right? Hi. Hello. Okay. So nice. Give me thumbs ups as in when you join, enter the code. All right. Okay, so the code again 65087449. All those of you who are just coming in. 65087449. I'm going to move to the next screen now just to see how many of you are here. So we'll have few levels in today's Menti. Level 1 is going to be chapters 1 to 4 of First Flight, okay? The syllabus is all your literature chapters and some grammar questions, okay? All right. Six 65087449. Let's give it a few more minutes so that everyone is in. I hope you're able to see me and hear me properly. Now I see all your emojis. All right, so Yash, your grammar course hasn't started, so maybe this will give you a head start. You already know all of these things, so don't worry. Okay, come on everyone, join quickly. All those of you in the chat, I hope you've all joined. Let's give it a few more seconds and then we'll get started because we have, like I said, we have a lot of questions coming up. All right, so I'm going to press enter now so that we can get started with level 1 of our Menti quiz today. I hope you're all prepared, all ready, and here we are. This is from A Letter to God. Who does Lencho have complete faith in? Is it his family, the weather, or God? Answer quickly to be on top of the leaderboard. And we're almost out of time. Time's up. The answer, very obvious answer over here. It's a letter to God. So obviously Lencho has complete faith in God, right? Which is why he writes a letter to God. Great job. Let's see how you have done. Do tell me what your names are so I can see who's who on the leaderboard. Alright, Nihal was the fastest and currently on top of the leaderboard. So we won't spend too much time on each leaderboard. Maybe after every fifth question we will stop and check the leaderboard. Otherwise it will take too long to cover all the questions, right? Okay, who does Lencho think has taken the rest of the money? What is the irony in this situation? Your options are his family, God's assistant, the post office employees. To answer this question, you need to know what irony is. Alright, easy peasy it seems. And the answer, very good, is the post office employees. So after Lencho writes a letter to God, the post office employees read the letter, feel bad for him, gather money in order to give to Lencho, but it's not the amount that Lencho asked for. So Lencho actually thinks that the post office employees stole money, right? So the irony here is, irony means an unexpected situation. So the opposite of what you are expecting. So you are expecting that, Lencho should be thankful towards the post office employees, even though they don't tell him that they were the ones who collected the money. Instead, Lencho thinks they stole his money. That's the irony, right? Okay, quick glance at the leaderboard to see if the same people are still on top. Yes. So now all of you have to give a tough competition to Nihal. Make sure you do that. And yes, again, like I said, this is a quiz to see where you're at. We will be covering everything that needs to be covered. What does Mandela mean when he says he's simply the sum of all those African patriots who had gone before him? This is from A Long Walk to Freedom. And let's see, long answer options, so hope you read them carefully. Alright, majority of you got it right. Great job. Mandela is offering his tribute to all the freedom fighters before him. So Mandela doesn't think he's greater than all the other freedom fighters, right? So he doesn't think he has all the qualities of preceding freedom fighters. He's saying that their contributions and their greatness is what has given him the opportunity and has made the country what it is today. Alright. Again, we will not dwell on the leaderboard. We'll just quickly take a look at it. Let's see if someone's beaten Nihal. Looks like it. Tom and I Love English on top. Great, now it's getting interesting. Okay, a little slow over here. Hope we'll get this issue fixed. Okay, there we are. What twin obligations does Mandela mention in the chapter? Is it obligation to his family and to his people and community, or obligations to freedom fighters and obligation to children? So grammar will come in this Menti only after the literature questions, all those of you asking. Again, it's easy peasy it seems, and looks like it. Majority of you got it right. This is very clearly given in the chapter. The twin obligations a man has is obligations to his family, his wife, his children and all of that, and to his people and his community, right? So if you've read the chapter, you'll very easily be able to recall all of these things. All right, Tom, Nihal on top. Here we are on the fifth question. After this, we'll see what the status of the leaderboard is. We'll see who's the top 10. Now, they were beckoning to him, calling shrilly. Why did the seagull's father and mother threaten him and cajole him to fly? Cajole means persuade or convince. What is the reason that they threatened and convinced and tried all these different ways to get him to fly? Most of you got it right. Great job. They wanted him to get over his fear and learn to fly. Right? Ooh, okay. I see something interesting happening now. And okay, top two remains the same, but Anvrish has reached number 4. We have Tavishi and Samriddhi. This is our top 5. Now I want to see other people make it to the top 5. Okay, so gear up. Let's go. All right, question 6. Now we'll look at the leaderboard again properly after question 10. What did the seagull's mother use as bait to help him learn to fly? Was it food or was it his friends? Done? Again, easy peasy, great. Let's see how many of you thought it was easy. Most of you did. It was food. The poor seagull was very, very hungry, so they used food as bait to get him to fly. He wanted food so desperately that he would get over his fear and fly for it. All right. Next question. Suresh says food is his weakness too. In the black aeroplane, what made the woman in the control center look at the narrator strangely? So once the narrator made his landing, went to the control center, why did the lady look at him strangely? Fantastic! Because he wanted to thank the other pilot, but there was no other pilot. Crazy. Was it a ghost? Was it a hallucination? Who knows? Question 8. Was Anne right when she said that the world would not be interested in the musings of a 13-year-old girl? Now the answer to this is very, very obvious. You and I are all reading her diary today after so many years. So obviously the answer is no. Anne was not right. Oh no, so seems like a lot of you read this wrong. Why the confusion in this question? So Anne in her diary thought that she's just rambling on and on about her life and she's this 13-year-old girl and nobody is going to be interested in reading what she has written. Is that true? Was she right? Obviously not. We are all interested in reading her diary. It's one of the most read books in the world, right? And it's a part of your syllabus because it's so important and so relevant and teaches us so many things about that time, right? So she was obviously wrong. So the answer is no, she was not right. So make sure you read the question properly. This was a very easy question that most of you got wrong. Okay? So make sure you don't make this silly mistake. All those of you who haven't studied this chapter yet, that's okay. But again, you apply logic and you see that you're about to study this chapter. That definitely means that everybody is interested in the diary of Anne Frank. Okay, seems to be glitching again. Let's wait. Oh no. Okay, so while we wait for this, a lot of you saying you've loved that chapter. That's great. It was a very relatable thing. All of us, some of us are very talkative in class. I'm sure a lot of our teachers have told us multiple times not to talk so much in class. There we go, finally it's loaded. So Anne Frank also had that problem. Okay, we'll take a look at the leaderboard again, don't worry. What does Anne write in her first essay? So those of you who've read the chapter know why she had to write an essay. Those of you who haven't, let me tell you, she had to write an essay because she was talking too much in class and her teacher got angry and made her write an essay on being a chatterbox. And there we go, a lot of you got it right. She writes about the necessity of talking, especially for students. So she actually in her essay writes why talking is important. So we will, like I said, we will have sessions on the explanations of all of these chapters. Don't worry about that. Right now, we're just seeing where you are, okay? You will also get an idea where you are. Okay, so here we are ready for level 2 and these are poems from first flight. So great job, we've crossed level 1. I skipped through the leaderboard of level 1, so we'll take a look at it after the first question of level 2. Seemed to be a little bit of an internet issue, due to which it's taking a bit more time to load, but that's okay. We'll fill that time up by talking. What is a dust of snow? Obviously, this is from the poem Dust of Snow. And 5 seconds left. Think this is very easy. The options give it away. I don't want to see even one person get it wrong. Oh no, 2 people still did. Maybe you misclicked. Dust of snow are snowflakes and it's fine particles. So very fine particles of dust are the dust of snow. Short poem but very impactful poem, right? And here we have the leaderboard. Okay, I see Tavishi on top, HN second, Hasna third, and I see completely new people in the top 5, which I am loving. Great job, what a tough competition you've given. Now I want to see who beats Tavishi, HN and Hasna. Quickly, I want to see some new people on the leaderboard. So gear up again. Those of you who think you're very strong with your poems, I want to see you on the top of the leaderboard now. Okay, there we are. What does the word rude mean in the poem? Again, this is Dust of Snow. Last word in the poem. Does it mean having read something or does it mean held in regret? And the word rude means the same in all contexts, not just the poem. Ah, very good. It means held in regret. When you feel bad about the outcome of something, if something has gone wrong, you think about it and you feel bad about it, that's ruing, right? Very good. So in Dust of Snow, a lot of different things happen that make the poet feel better about his day that he otherwise would not have liked, that he otherwise would have rued. And the interesting thing about this poem is that all the things that happen, the crow, the dust of snow falling, the hemlock tree, all of these things are generally considered negative things. People who are superstitious believe these to be things that are not so good. But these things actually turn around our poet's day and make it better. So there's a little bit of irony here as well. Yes, Barsha, dandruff was really funny. So I think someone... Okay, we can reload this. Okay, then no, it's working now. So yeah, I think the 2 people who clicked dandruff as the answer did it as a joke. Who is the poet of the poem Fire and Ice? Let me give you a hint. It's the same poet as Dust of Snow. Who is it? And loading, loading, loading. Come on, load quickly. Okay, the answer, I won't leave you in suspense. The answer obviously is Robert Frost, right? And I hope most of you got it right. I skipped through it. Maybe I'll reload it next time. That should help. Okay, we'll skip through the leaderboard as well. It's already taking too long to load. The answer was Robert Frost. Okay? Notice the use of a word repeated in these lines. On pads of velvet quiet, in his quiet rage. What do you think is the effect of this repetition? Read the options carefully and then pick your answer. Great job. It intensifies the tiger's rage and his silent helplessness in the cage. Okay, so the word quiet intensifies the helplessness that the tiger is silently feeling, because a tiger should not be caged, should be able to roam around freely, right? Okay. So Yash, if everything is easy peasy, I want to see you on the top of the leaderboard, alright? What are the two kinds of tigers the poem talks about? Again, simple question, just read carefully. Time's up. The correct answer is very good. A tiger in the jungle and a tiger in a zoo. The two comparisons are between a tiger in a jungle who has all the space and the kind of environment that a tiger needs to be able to express its natural instincts, versus a tiger who is caged in a zoo where he can't do anything and is just miserable, right? Yeah, if you answer in the chats, other people will also know the answer. Let's quickly take a look at the leaderboard. Tavishi on top, Hasna and Echan still. I need someone to come and beat them. I see Monica is here. So I want you to climb up the leaderboard, okay? Here we are. Question 15 now. What does the word novice mean? It's in the poem How to Tell Wild Animals. What does the word novice mean? Let's see if some of you got confused because of the other option. So many of you got confused because of the other option. No, novice means someone who's new to a job. So they probably don't know how to do it very well because they've just started doing it. That is a novice, okay? Someone who does not have a voice. It's not no voice, it's novice. Okay, completely different meaning. Don't get thrown off because of these options. They're confusing on purpose. And this definition is given in your textbook. So if you read properly in the glossary, you have this exact definition. Novice means someone new to a job. All right. 16th question. After the 20th question, we'll see the leaderboard again. What does the poet say about the boy learning from the loss of the ball? This is the ball poem and it revolves around loss, right? The theme is loss. Okay. So some of you did get it wrong. Obviously, the meaning of the poem is a lot deeper than just losing a ball. It's not about losing belongings. It's about learning how to cope with loss, because you will face all kinds of loss in your life. What the poet is trying to express is that the little boy losing his ball, which is very important to him, will teach him and prepare him for other losses that he's going to experience in life. Okay, so it's coping up with loss and growing up. Okay. All right. So I see most of you struggling with poems a little bit. What does the phrase epistemology of loss mean in the poem? Again, reminder, this poem is about coping with loss, right? So, answer accordingly. I can't give you more information, otherwise you'll know the answer. Yes, very good. It's understanding the nature of loss, what it means to lose something. And I understand poems generally are a little bit harder because the meaning is often given in figurative language. It's sort of hidden. It's not very apparent, right? So we can go over poems if that is something that you're struggling with. No problem. Okay, we have reached level 3 now, which is chapters 1 to 4 from Footprints. Okay, so are you ready? Quickly remember all the chapters here and let's get right to it. Question 18 of 39. Why was the narrator shocked at Tricky's appearance? This is from A Triumph of Surgery. Okay, Tricky is the dog. And let's see, 3 seconds left. Very good, great job. Tricky had become very fat and bloated. That's why everyone was worried, because Tricky got no exercise and kept eating a lot, right? Okay, let's quickly glance at the leaderboard, see what's happening, see if someone was able to climb up. No one's able to beat Tavishi yet. You never know when the game changes. But we see Monica has climbed up quite a bit. Great job. And I see Sri Hari has made it to the leaderboard. Fantastic. I want to see more of you. Okay. So answer fast and don't make silly mistakes. Read the question, read the options carefully before responding. Here we are, question 19. How did Tricky get better? Same chapter. And I maybe sort of gave away the answer to you, but still. The chapter is called A Triumph of Surgery. So did Tricky undergo surgery? No, very good, great job. Tricky exercised and ate healthy. Okay? That's the twist at the end. All Tricky needed was exercise and healthy food, not surgery. I see Bhardwaj has made it. Monica is now 3, Ayush and Tavishi still holding their positions. Alright, now we'll take a look at the leaderboard a little later. Oh no, okay, there we go. Why was Hari Singh grateful to Anil? This is the thief's story. Why was Hari Singh grateful to Anil? You have 3 seconds left. And yes, great job. Anil gave him shelter and taught him to read and write. Okay? Pretty straightforward. We don't even know Hari Singh's real name. how does the balcony become significant in the story? Which story? The Midnight Visitor. Why is the balcony important? I think balcony is the most important point of the story. It helps Ossible outwit Max. It helps in Ossible escaping. Yes. So, some of you still got it wrong. It helps Ossible outwit Max. Why? Because there is no balcony, right? What is the meaning of the word espionage in the story? In fact, in general. Is it a plan or is it spying? To give you a hint, sometimes you watch movies and they're called espionage films. What does that mean? Spy films. Espionage means spying. Anything related to spies and spying. The act of getting secret information or confidential information from somewhere for some purpose is espionage. Okay? So whenever you hear about espionage films or books, they're all based on spies, right? Okay. A lot of you got it wrong. I think it was more of a vocabulary question. You had both a plan and spies in the story. Okay, I see some changes in the leaderboard now. Tom is in number 3. Okay, and we have Hasna at 4. Bishal has come to our leaderboard. Welcome. Spying is when you secretly look at someone and get information. Who is the real culprit in the story? This is a question of trust. Okay? Where Horace goes around stealing from rich people in order to buy rare and expensive books. Very good, most of you got it right. The real culprit in the story is a young woman. The young woman was also a thief who lies to Horace, tricks him and ultimately steals the jewels but also gets Horace in trouble. Okay? Okay, those of you who haven't read it, take a guess, that's okay. Why does Horace get angry when anyone talks about honor among thieves? There's a saying, honor among thieves, which means that even thieves have rules that they don't break with each other. But Horace gets angry when he hears this because easy, he was tricked by another thief. Okay, so I think those of you who got this wrong haven't read the story yet. Read it once and you will be fine. Nothing too complicated here. And welcome to level 4. So we are done with all your chapters. So here you needed to have read the chapters in order to answer the questions. Not so much with grammar. Grammar you already know. So try answering and you will get a lot of them right. I have full faith. Okay. Here we are. You have to fill in the blanks with the noun forms of the verbs. Okay? So basically shortcut for you over here is to just look at the verb in the brackets and give me the noun form of it. Contribute and assist. Oh, majority of you got it wrong. We are not changing the tense of the verb. That's not what we are doing. Okay, we are changing the verb to its noun forms. Okay, there are some words that have a noun form and have a verb form. In this case, contribution and assistance are nouns. Contributed and assisted are just past forms of the verb, right? And assistant is not even related to assist. I mean, not in the same way. Assist as a verb means to help someone with something, to help. And assistance is offering help. An assistant is someone, a person who helps with, who works with someone in order to help them, right? So don't get confused between these things. Contributed, assisted, which is what most of you answered, are just different tense forms of the verb. okay? They're not a noun. So you need to give me the noun forms of the verbs. I hope everyone has understood their mistake. Because we have a question like this again. Again, I'm specifying you need to give me the noun forms of the verbs in the brackets. Subjugate and humiliate are the verbs. What are their noun forms? Very good. Great job. So I think it was just I think you read the question too fast, didn't understand it. I don't know what happened, but most of you got it right. It's subjugation and humiliation. These are the noun forms. All right. Again, imprison and resist. Imprison and resist. It'll be good if you read the paragraph too, but I think you don't have enough time, so we're taking a shortcut. Great job. Imprisonment and resistance. All right. So a hack here is if you see ing or ed, then you know it's probably a verb form. Right? So that's how you know it's not a noun form. If you see meant, ence, assistance, resistance, then you know it's a noun form. All right. Tavishi still on top, Hasna second, and Kumar, Harshvardhan, Jayatri, very good on the third spot. We have Shreya and Yogesh as well. Rest of you were already there. Fantastic. I see some things have changed. Now I want to see someone beat Tavishi. Let's see who that is. Now here, just take a look at what you need to do before you answer the question. So use the words given below and frame sentences using the passive form of the verbs. Okay, so you have a bunch of words. You need to unjumble them, put them in a sentence, but you need to make sure it's in the passive voice, passive forms of the verbs. So rice is cultivated in the Gangetic Valley and coastal region. The documents have been signed by the principal. Take a look. Is cultivated, have been signed. Pay attention to the verb forms. We need the passive forms of the verbs. Here is the question coming up. Here are your words. And you also have a hint there, what tense it needs to be in. So you need to put it in the correct tense. Very good. Most of you got it right. Taj Mahal was built by Shah Jahan. Okay? Taj Mahal was built by Shah Jahan. Was built is the correct usage here. Oh, Tavishi still on top. Come on, somebody beat Tavishi. Now this sentence needs to be in the simple present tense, but it needs to be the passive forms of the verb. Time's up. Okay, majority of you got it right. Malaria virus is transmitted by female Anopheles mosquito. It's female Anopheles mosquito transmits malaria virus is the active form, okay? So the female Anopheles mosquito is transmitting something, the active form. Passive form is malaria is transmitted by. Yes, Khushi, that's a great observation. And that will help you answer a lot of questions quickly as well. Tavishi is still on top, still the fastest. Okay, so now use the words given below and choose sentences using the passive forms of the verb. Here is the words. And I'm going to show the correct answer now. Okay, the case has been solved by the police and 2 persons have been arrested. Is the passive form. Great job. The format here changed a little bit, so that might have led to some confusion. But that's okay. Most of you got the correct answer. Now you need to fill in the blanks using the contracted forms of the verbs. If I tell you what the contracted form is, then that will give away the answer very easily. So I want you to do this yourself. And you'll have to type it out, I believe. So let's wait for the time to get over. All right, shouldn't. Great job. Most of you have put it in. The correct answer is shouldn't. That's the contracted form of should not. Let's do the next one quickly as well. They have written the story. If we have the contracted form of the verb here, what will the sentence be? Type it out. Very good. I see some of you have gotten it right already in the chat. The correct answer is they've. They have becomes they've. So can't really see how many of you got it right, but I'm sure most of you did because this is very easy. Let us go watch a movie. The only thing you need to be careful about here is the usage of a certain punctuation mark. That's the most common mistake that can be made over here. So be mindful of that. Okay, seems like most of you are done. And some of you posting the answer in the chat. 3 more seconds and yes, the correct answer is let's. L-E-T with an apostrophe S. Okay, I know, super easy. He did not play tennis. Now I won't give you the full time for this. I'll stop when we hit 10. Because this is very simple. Okay, I'm going to stop now only. All of you giving the answer in the chat. The correct answer is didn't, as shown in the chat. Very good. All right. Now you need to fill in the blanks with phrasal verbs, okay? So Hasini wanted to blank with her mother to the bookshop. Fill it in with the correct phrasal verb, very easy. Yes, so it needs to be one of the options. Most of you got it right. Go out, great job. 35 of 39. Again, phrasal verb. Her mother came back home very late. She said that her car blank on the way back. Don't make a mistake by misclicking. Be careful. Here, very good. Broke down. You need to also take care of the tense over here because it happened in the past. Fantastic. Now we'll straight look at the final leaderboard. We won't stop in the middle. She had to blank a mechanic. So this is in continuation of the car breaking down. She had to look for a mechanic. Great job. Not found out. That is incorrect. She had to look for a mechanic. And see what happens next. She blanked several apps for roadside assistance, but then blanked that her internet was not working. Two options over here. Be careful. Still easy. I'm sure most of you will get it right as you did. Looked for and found out. Great. 38 of 39. Now you have to change the following sentences to indirect speech or reported speech. Is anyone there? He asked. So take care of the pronouns, take care of the tense. Very good. He asked if anyone was there. Whenever you have a yes or no question in direct speech, you will add if or whether in indirect speech. All right, I believe it's time for the last question. Okay, change the following sentences to indirect speech. I hope you can see what you have to change. I'll show it to you here. Shall I wait for the doctor or come again tomorrow? Shall I wait for the doctor or come again tomorrow? She asked the receptionist. And okay. Should I show the correct answer? And I just gave you a hint. So I hope you know. She asked the receptionist whether she should wait for the doctor or come back the next day. Here the important thing is tomorrow becomes the next day and doesn't remain tomorrow because time has passed. Okay, so tomorrow will change to the next day. Yesterday will change to the previous day. Okay. We still have Tavishi on top, Hasna second and Kumar, Harshvardhan, Jayatri on third. I believe we've reached the last and final question. Let's quickly get done with this. Change the following sentences to indirect speech. Mr. Sen said, truth always wins. Again, very important rule of indirect speech or reported speech is being applied over here, which I'll tell you once you've answered the question. Very good. Mr. Sen said that truth always wins. In this case, when we're talking about sayings or universal truths, we do not change the tense in reported speech. And now let's see the final leaderboard very quickly. Let's see who has topped our Menti today. And it's Tavishi. So no one really beat Tavishi, but great, going very consistently answered fast and the correct answers. Great job, claps for you. And all those of you, it's okay if you didn't do well, at least now you know what you need to work on. Okay, So that's it for today. Before we leave, be a part of our universe and let's achieve 100k subscribers. So those of you who haven't, subscribe right away. Get your friends to do it as well. All right. Thank you so much. I had a lovely time and I will be back. So stay subscribed. Don't miss out on any sessions and together we're going to ace your midterms. All right.